We're going right in.
Oh, are we already on? Are we live now?
Yeah, I think it should be on now.
Let's find out.
Yeah, because
Let's
I got
find
I
out.
got
Are
the
we on?
little four-piece camera going.
Hell yeah. Are we large and in charge right now? Or
Oh yeah,
did we make?
we're here.
All right.
Right,
Grab
obviously,
your.
the disclaimer, guys. DD214 cannot warranty the expressions and suggestions of the content as well as its accuracy. In addition, to the extent permitted by the law, DD214 Gaming shall not be responsible for any losses and or damages due to the usage of the information on our website. By using our website, you hereby consent to our disclaimer and agree to its terms. The links
How
contained on our
about it?
websites may lead to external sites, which are provided for convenience only. Any information or statements that appear in these sites are not sponsored, endorsed, or otherwise approved by the DD214 Gaming Group. For these external sites, DD214 Gaming cannot be held liable for the availability of or the content located on or through it, plus any losses or damages occurred from using these contents of the internet generally. Opinions expressed are our own and we do not represent any DoD or U.S. government entities as a whole. Each individual opinion is their own and does not express their expressions of DD214 Gaming. This channel is produced for mature audiences only. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only.
There you go. Because we grab asses to make people happy.
Yes,
So
we do.
mature audience.
Yes, we do.
we
And
swallow the homies good night and we grab asses to make people happy.
yes we do. And happy 4th of July, everybody. We're here.
Absolutely.
We're here once
Absolutely.
again. How you doing, man? How was your week?
I'm doing okay. Just celebrating the 245th anniversary of the independence of our great nation, man. So
Is it
I've been
two?
having a good
Is it 245?
245. Yeah, 245. So in 5 years we'll have the 250th in 2026.
That's gonna be
So
crazy.
yeah, it's gonna be a party, man. It's like stay alive for 5 more years, man, and freaking
We
it'll
got,
be worth the fight.
we're right at the bitter end, guys. We're right at the bitter end.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, how was your week?
Oh man, it was pretty good. You know, just did the worksies and actually funny thing we have cake in the oven today.
Cake. What kind of cake?
Funfetti cake.
Funfetti cake.
Yeah, you know.
You're gonna have to enlighten me on that. I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, so funfetti cake. It's just like regular vanilla cake with sprinkles inside
Uh
of it.
huh.
The best cake.
Oh, okay. Just that simple, huh?
Yep,
Just like
yep.
that. That's it.
That's
Okay.
too
Okay.
too
Okay.
too easy, man. But
I can dig it.
yeah,
Dig it.
it's been a great week. Watched a couple shows. I'm not sure if you've watched it yet. Have you watched Loki yet?
No, I have not. I keep seeing your posts on your Facebook feed.
It's
Cream,
so hard.
cream your pants. Yeah.
It's so hard not to spoil this show because it's just so it's so all over the place, but everything makes so much sense. But it's just
Okay.
I remember
Now, do
months
you have to,
ago.
now would you have to be plussed up on the Marvel Comics universe to understand that show or
If you want to understand, I think it would be wise for you to be caught up. Oh, is it cold? Get the fuck out of here. Oh shit, an icy slush,
got your
baby. Look at that.
what?
Icy
ISIS,
slush
ISIS
on the
coming
4th
act like that?
on the 4th of July. Oh yeah, you got this shit at Walmart or Walgreens or something.
What?
We're not affiliated or
That's
sponsored, guys.
it's badass, dude.
Yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, so it would be wise of you to know what is going on in the Thor movies and the Avengers movies to understand
Okay.
what's happening here. You don't have to watch WandaVision, you don't have to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that's okay. But you should be caught up with the Avengers and the Thor movies if you want to enjoy this because it is so special.
Do they drop like are there some good Easter eggs? I know you don't want to ruin anything, but like are there Easter eggs in it like that
Eas-
you'd kind of like
If I had to make a prediction, we're gonna see Galactus within the next year or two.
shut the fuck up, dude?
That
That would be bad fucking ass.
you know
I
it,
used to like when I was a kid, when I was into comic books when I was a kid, like Galactus was actually one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
And like, yeah,
and if it just seems like all points lead to it, unless they have, there's other obvious choices. If you're following the show and the comics, there's other obvious choices that might come before him, but it does seem to me that it's all leading up to it, and there's just
okay.
there's something so weirdly, beautifully poetic about Loki that makes it so different from everything else. And it's truly a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story.
I'll tell you what, John. You know what I love about you is the way you describe things and how into things you get. Whether it's a video game, a TV show, a movie you've seen, you make me want to fucking watch it just by virtue of like how into the shit you are.
Yeah,
You get so into shit.
you know,
Like makes me want. Like I watched Falcon Winter Soldier because of you. I probably
and
would have never touched it.
it's so good. It's so
And it
good.
was good, yes. And you were correct, and you were absolutely like spot on with your assessment. So like I can't say you were wrong. So
It touched a
you
lot
know,
of deep things. And here's my message to Disney Plus. Don't make any more movies. Give us this.
you go.
These
Yeah, TV
shows,
show, like
you
TV
know,
shows with comic characters, yeah.
yeah, I could deal with these 6 episode series, I could deal with them. They're so, you have more time to tell a story. And I gotta say, Owen Wilson is fantastic as Mobius.
Does he say
Fantastic.
wow? Does he say wow?
You
Like
want,
the Owen Wilson, like wow.
yeah, you want to know
Like
you want to
you
know
know?
something? I think there were a lot of moments where he had the opportunity. I don't think he said it.
Really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
but he's
You'd
very,
almost think they would throw that in there, just like a little Easter egg of its
yeah.
own, you know?
Oh,
The Owen Wilson, like wow.
yeah, but
You
there's
know,
there's
like,
there's tons of Easter eggs. There's a lot of inclusion. It's very inclusive, which is very 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 cool for Disney to be like, hey, we're cool with this character being this type of person. Go for it.
okay.
It's they did it, and it works well with the character. They did just such a good fucking
Are
job.
you talking about like are you talking like sexuality wise and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah,
So
and
are you familiar with the not the Marvel Comics version, but the actual story of Loki, like from the Norse
oh yeah,
mythology?
yeah, they follow it. They follow
Yeah, I was
it.
gonna say, well, he turned into a horse and like had sex with another horse, right? And like, I think he gave birth. I think he gave birth to
To a wolf.
Sleipnir. I think, or was it a wolf? Hang on.
He gave birth to a wolf or something like that. Yeah, and there's
Was it Sleipnir? Give me a second.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, give me like 2 seconds.
what's going on, Cairo? Good morning, 4th of July. Deshaun Myers. Oh, really? Deshaun Myers says he won't say wow according to the producer, which is believable.
Really? So they made sure he wouldn't say wow. Basically, like
know-
they're doing that on purpose.
And for shit,
Yes,
baby.
Loki. Yeah, Loki is the father in Norse mythology. Loki is the father of Sleipnir. Sleipnir is the horse that Odin rides, that takes him like across the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, so it's no Fenrir, yeah. So it's no secret. Okay, so it's no secret then that they went with the gender fluidity of Loki for this
yeah,
show.
he would have to be because he yeah, in several of the stories he changes shape and form.
Yeah, but
In Norse mythology
yeah,
to
and
do all that stuff. So.
and there's a lot of interesting stuff that happens. So I highly suggest you watch it, and it explains the multiverse the way. It pretty much like dumbs the multiverse down to be like, okay, motherfuckers, this is what the fuck it is.
Right.
There's
Right.
no other explanation. Like now you understand. It explains what the Avengers, the time heist in the Avengers. It explains that why
Okay.
they explain why they did it, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool,
That's
man.
awesome, man.
You
That's
know?
awesome. You know what else is pretty cool? How much of a sore fucking thumb I stick out like in the Midwest. I don't even think I'm like doing anything. I'm just being me out here. You know what I mean? Like, and it, like my girlfriend Nikki, she laughs at me because of how bad I stick out here. And like I'm not trying to do anything. I just apparently it's how I look or how I carry myself or something. But it's obvious that I ain't from around here.
Oh
You know?
shit! So, okay, so how do they dress over there?
Well, where we're at
Because I know you're
is
a black shirt, black jeans kind of guy.
yes, and so where we're at specifically right now, not a bad location, beautiful people, like beautiful. The area is gorgeous. I mean, it is absolutely the view from that I'm looking at right now from her parents' house is amazing. Um, it's very working class here. So if you can imagine, like it's like the farmland basically where we're at. So you have a
I
lot
can
of
imagine.
farmers. So t-shirt, jeans, boots, or work. I would say work boots. Truckers caps. Like it's
Oh
very
man,
a lot of
John
the
Deere.
males. Yeah, a lot of the males around here, they do the thing where they wear the shirts where they've got no sleeves. So like every like third dude walks into like the fucking gas station looking like this, and there's like I kind of like okay, whatever.
So
Like,
you may be the only
yeah,
person wearing sleeves in the Midwest right now, is what you're saying.
and probably black too. Yeah, like everywhere, very colorful shirts, right? Like, yeah. So yeah, I guess I still got like a sore thumb up here.
I like the high
So
and tight, man.
yeah, man, I didn't. So I was able to move my vacation up by about 48 hours. So I was originally going to leave on Thursday. Instead, I left on Tuesday.
Oh, here we
And
go.
by leaving that day early, I had a haircut appointment on Tuesday with my stylist. So when I got out here, when I got to Kansas City, I went around the corner to my girlfriend's stylist, and he cut my hair, and he did a pretty good job. I kind of teach this kid how to do like a proper fade, but aside from that, though, he did very good. He did very well.
That's
So
pretty
I'll
good,
probably be
man.
going back to him another day.
There you go, man. So you got to see Shohei Ohtani in action this week.
I did, and well, he didn't do too hot that night. He didn't have a good night pitching. So
Yeah. He's been getting pretty rough with
struggling
his
on the mound,
pitching. Yeah, lately,
struggling on the mound a little bit. Yeah,
lately.
but yeah, we were having drinks that night. I had just gotten into town, and we went and met a couple of my girlfriend's friends, and yeah, we sat down, and we were watching the Royals game, but the Angels game was on as well. They were playing the Yankees of all teams. They were playing the Yankees that night, and so yeah, and Shohei Ohtani was on the mound. I was like, oh, sweetie, look, there's the guy that John always talks about, but he didn't do so hot on the
Yeah,
mound.
yeah,
So
yeah. But when the guy is fielding, man, the guy is a sight to see. So if you ever get the Angels coming by your town, make sure you see them. There was actually a very controversial thing that happened this week in baseball. I don't know if you followed the man who is the forefront of the spider attack has been given a 7-day suspension due to a sexual abuse allegation.
what?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to get deep into it. All I'm really going to say is that
Here we fucking go.
in the situation, there was a lot of consent made for a lot of violent sexual fantasies, and
Okay.
I mean, from
I
what
can get on board with that. I can get on
you
board
can
with
get on
that.
board with that,
Oh, yeah.
and it's a very it's a
Consent is always key, and I think that's the perfect. That's exactly what it
yes,
comes down to. Is if you are going to engage in adult fun time activities, and if those adult fun time activities happen to include some potentially violent or having the appearance of being a violent
yes,
act,
yes,
you need to make sure. You need to make sure not only A, both parties are on board, but B, both parties fucking enjoy it. Because if both
yeah,
parties don't
and
fucking enjoy it, somebody's gonna have a not good time. And it doesn't matter if it's the male or the female.
And that's
If both
and
parties
that's
are
the
enjoying it,
weird part about the situation, because there is shown in many documents and text message that both consenting parties enjoyed what happened, but apparently there was a lot of marks that were there, and then there was a lot of other stuff that was
might be.
then there was
There might be.
yeah, and then there was a lot of other stuff that was apparently not consented on, and stuff I'm not gonna get into.
Hey.
But all I'm just gonna say that people are fucking freaky, bro.
Well, let's not. Okay, well, we're podcast brothers, bro, but don't fucking judge me, all right? Like let's
No,
let's call that.
no, of
let's call
course.
that-
No, I'm not judging, Jay. I'm not judging.
I'll tell you what's funny too is so according to the army, so been in the army for almost 12 years now, right? And you know when we go through our sharp classes for the sexual harassment, sexual assault classes, we do it quarterly. You know, by law, basically by regulation, we do sharp classes quarterly. Over the years, I've watched these sharp classes kind of evolve, and it used to be as simple as like you're a dude, don't rape anybody, to where now it's like this. They go like in depth in this shit. And here's what the army says about consent. Here's what the army says about consent. Consent can be given all the way through. You could be even in the middle of an act. The minute consent is withdrawn, the minute consent goes away, if you do not immediately cease and desist all activities, you are now sexually assaulting. So you can be in the middle of an act, and as soon as they say no, gender does not matter, male, female, whoever. As soon as they say I'm done, I'm not having fun anymore, whatever, no, they say no, it's over.
I like that.
And the minute I do too. That's exactly how it should be. And the minute you cross that line, once somebody is withdrawn consent, the minute you cross that line, you have now entered sexual assault territory.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of the way it should be. And that's basically what it sounds to me like. You had a couple of freaky deakies that like to get down and dirty, which is fine.
Yeah.
Adults having adult fun times, like that's okay. That is okay. But you can be in the middle of an act. So if I'm getting my ass whipped with a cat of nine tails, and all of a sudden it starts to sting just a little bit too much, I'm getting spanked just a little bit too hard, right? I don't like it. And I say, hey, I want to stop. I'm no longer comfortable in this action. Consent is withdrawn.
That's it. Yep.
The next time that whip comes across my ass, I'm now being sexually assaulted, basically.
Yep. So I do like that because it gives the power to anybody who feels uncomfortable.
Both parties. It gives power to both parties.
That's good, and it's we're coming to day and age that where every little detail we should be aware of. So that's
it's like you said, they've got stuff, probably text messages.
Yeah.
They probably got screenshots. They probably got videos and fun time pictures that were probably exchanged. They probably got all that. But if even one time somebody says no or stop or slow down or whatever, I don't like it anymore, consent was then withdrawn.
Yeah,
so,
and that's that.
That is that. It doesn't matter what you do, or everybody gets down behind closed doors in their own way, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
Some people like to play games. Some people like the real vanilla. Like we're just
gonna get it done and just
yeah. We're gonna do this for purposes of making babies only, and that's fine too. If that's your bag, that's not really my bag. I like to have fun, so whatever. Like
absolutely.
I like to have lots of fun.
Yep.
Sure.
And I just want to give big ups to MLB for acting quickly on the situation. Trevor Bauer didn't appeal the decision. Everyone seems to be on board with understanding that the investigation is happening, and they were just like, hey, you're not pitching. That
was my next question. Like, is it under investigation, or was stuff admitted to, or like what's the
well, from what it looks like, everyone's been telling the truth, and no one has been saying you're lying.
Okay.
So
at least he's owning up to like his part of it, basically. Like he's saying like, here's all my stuff. Like this is what happened. This is my I guess my side of the story.
Yeah. And MLB worked quick. They're just like, okay, you're not pitching. It's not a good idea. And people quickly get aggressive. So we've seen in the last couple weeks NBA players getting stuff thrown at them during the games, food, items, so what would happen if Trevor Bauer went out on the mound? But yeah, it's oh man, it's a very interesting situation. It's kind of confusing a little bit, but good on MLB, good on everyone being honest, and that's that. I got some. Oh wait, we have here currently hydrating, damn fruity drinks. Ooh, yeah.
Drinking.
Well,
fruity drinks.
So what fruity drink was it? Because like when I was sipping on the tea, fruity drinks was my thing. What did I like, baby? I like daiquiris, right?
Speaking of, well, it's not really fruity, but for a little bit of celebratory purposes, I can't really drink too much because
Of
we have a little bit
course.
of a drive ahead of us. We're gonna be leaving shortly after the podcast to go back to Kansas City, but I got a Royals game to catch today. So, but
Let's go.
this is called Templeton. This is Templeton rye whiskey. I got about a finger of it in my cup left from last night. So I was like, I'm not pouring that out. I'll save it for the podcast, and I'll have a couple sips of rye whiskey.
Nice. It's getting all that flavor. It's getting all that flavor.
All the flavor, baby.
It's gonna have all that, like, that air, and that's a nice cup too, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's a nice little tumbler. And we actually were, believe it or not, John, you came up last night. So I was talking about how when you come here in August, when you get here in August, how I didn't want to interrupt your streak, basically,
Absolutely.
because we're so very proud of you. Like it's almost August now, it's July now, and you've made it all the way to July. And like,
It's fucking crazy.
yeah, tell me how much better you feel though by like when you stopped drinking at the beginning of the year, and how much better do you feel now?
You
that
know-
you haven't drank like seven and a half months basically.
You know, I think the biggest difference, and this is something that, like, my wife and I spoke about, that the biggest difference about not drinking this long is waking up in the morning and, like, just feeling clear.
Yeah, just like regular.
You know-
you mean regular? There's a word for that, John. It's regular.
Yeah, you know, like, you don't.
That's how you're supposed to wake up.
You ever, you don't feel like you got a fish bowl of whiskey in your stomach, and you're all like, what the fuck happened last night? One of those things. It's that's the biggest thing, because and it was funny because we were actually talking about this last night. How I love to stay awake. And it's very rare when I now choose to stay up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And that's just with work and everything. And how now that I'm older, I would highly choose to sleep my 6 hours than
Right.
stay up all night and play video games or something like that.
Right.
So it feels great. I haven't had a whiff of it, and it's so weird because, like, so many people at my job ask me if we sell alcohol in our store, and from what I hear, it's a pretty common thing outside of New Jersey.
Out west, yes.
Yeah,
Very common out west.
For retail
Yes.
stores to sell alcohol. So, and I think maybe 3 or 4 times I've had days where I'm just like, fuck, I really need a drink, but it's been great. It's been great being able, and I hope I'm speaking the same for my wife too. But she's been happy. She's been happy. So
Good. That's what we want to see. And it's always okay. And like we always encourage our brothers and sisters. Like if you're having issues, if it's time to take a break, take a fucking break.
yeah,
Take a knee, drink some water. Just like we did in the fucking service. Take a break. There's nothing says you got to fucking party every night. You know what I mean?
I just read that someone from a rock band just celebrated 20 years of sobriety.
Oh, there's a lot of them.
I can't-
You'd be shocked.
I can't-
There's actors out there
was it-
actors that have like 30 years of sobriety or some shit. Like
It's
I think,
beautiful.
Rob Lowe has like fucking 30 years of sobriety.
Rob Lowe, really?
Rob fucking Lowe has like a shitload of sobriety under his
How
belt.
low could Rob Lowe?
Well, he got in trouble. I don't know. You might have been a little too young, but I remember when he got in trouble as a young actor, and he got caught doing a bunch of stuff, and it was like career-ending shit. Like his career could have potentially been.
Like what happened with Robert Downey Jr.
Yes. Same. Totally same. It's like, and they make these comebacks. It's always good to see, not just actors, but sports figures, entertainment figures, whoever. It's always good to see somebody take charge of their own life and get, I guess, the help that they need. And if you need to fucking take a break, take a fucking break. Like we sit here and this is almost a stereotype. You know what I mean? Like the functioning alcoholic veteran. But here on our podcast, me and John kind of we are ourselves, but we kind of play caricatures of ourselves. a lot of times here on the podcast. So that's where
Extensions, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's you know, where I am, it's fucking 8:45 in the morning. Now, on a normal morning, I'm not gonna have a tumbler full of fucking whiskey at 8:45 in the morning. That's just not fucking normal in my life. But for purposes of the podcast, and just like the disclaimer says, for entertainment purposes only, I play kind of a caricature, and I'm the fucking stereotypical fucking grunt veteran that, you know, might have a tumbler of whiskey at fucking 9 o'clock in the fucking morning on a Sunday, right? So that's a caricature thing. But the reality is, we're talking about a drug, and we're talking about something that's very serious in life. And when you become an adult and you have adult responsibilities like fucking children and, you know, a significant other, a spouse, you got to take care of stuff in your life first. And a lot of times these drugs, they get in the fucking way.
Yeah.
And if they're getting in the way of your life, take a fucking break. Just take a fucking break. It's not a big deal to take a fucking knee once in a while and just chill out on shit for a while. Like, every night doesn't have to be a goddamn party. So, you know, but yeah, just, you know, we're very proud of you, and we talked about you last night. I was telling my old lady, I was like, I know they don't care if we have, you know, if we're sipping on beers in front of them. I was like, but I don't want to fucking sit there and like not trying to throw anything in his face when he gets here, because I'm proud of him. I want him to fucking stand fast until the end of the year, because like you basically said you're gonna go at least a year, right?
Oh yeah.
You're gonna do a year.
Oh yeah.
Fucking yeah. Yeah, and that's like, when you've got stuff to take care of in your life, like kids and responsibilities, like every night ain't got to be a fucking party. We can still party. We don't need alcohol to party.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so crazy, you know, like, speaking of parties, like this week, I had a real blast reconnecting with some people that have, like, some of my overseas gamer friends.
Okay.
And we had a pretty exciting. I wish I could play the audio that was recorded, but it's I'm actually I'll send it to you, but it's actually pretty fucking funny.
Check that
but
out.
You know, but I had I'll leave the Xbox Cloud review for the last review.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I look forward to that too.
But this week I had the honor, and actually I got to play with our dear friend Gio from Mercia's Fragment.
Awesome.
Now, this is a disclaimer for everybody, okay? If you tell me something, I'm gonna talk about it on the air. So, if you don't want the world to know about it, don't tell me. So I'm sorry, Gio, but in the middle of our game session, he got called to a band practice where they are working on the new album.
Awesome.
I'm not gonna say if I heard anything or not, but what I'm gonna say is that it's heartbreakingly destructive.
Oh, I love that little word package you just fucking threw out there, like heartbreakingly destructive.
Yeah, and
so we definitely look forward to a new album by Mercia's Fragment.
Yeah, and man, you know, some of the stuff that I learned, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for them, and
my apologies.
Oh no, you're good. I'm very excited for it, and I'm hoping very soon we can have him back on the show so he could talk about that and give us a rundown of what's going on. And
my phone is not behaving right now. I apologize.
At least it's not the bird.
There we go.
Yeah, so I had the pleasure of being introduced to a few games this week by a couple friends. The first game that was introduced to me is called American Truck Simulator.
Okay. Tell me about American. That's like the most American sounding fucking game ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me tell you, I wouldn't be sitting here today telling you about this game if I didn't enjoy it. Surprise! Okay. Now, I hate driving. Okay, I hate driving. My wife drives me to work about 70% of the time. I hate driving.
Okay.
And you know, my boy Joe was just like, "Hey, man, you know, I'm playing American Truck Simulator. You gonna play it?" And I'm just like, "No." He explained a few things to me, so I'm just like, "Fuck it, I'll play it. Let's play the game."
Okay.
I start playing it. I get a little confused. I crashed a couple things while trying to deliver a couple pallets. No big deal. But then I started to handle the game, and that's when the fun started. The cool what's really cool about the game is that it's very realistic. So I was driving in Pueblo West, Jay.
Please call me back.
One of the maps in the game. Actually, it goes through a United States map, and so one of the main maps. I'm unlocking Colorado, so one of the cities that I'm driving through is Pueblo West and Pueblo East.
Yes. That's a real place. That's where I live.
Yeah, so what's really cool is that I'm driving through these cities. I see the gas stations. There's traffic. There's actual traffic. If I go through a red light, I get ticketed. Now, I'm a truck. If someone hits me, I get ticketed. You know, the mechanics on the game are very, very real. You could play simple automatic, which does all the automatic for you. You could do real automatic, where you actually have to change the shifts from automatic to drive, or you could do manual, which
I'll tell you what. If you want to fuck somebody up real quick, man, put their asses in a fucking in a tractor trailer truck, or a trailer truck, you know, like a big rig, and give them the keys and say, like, go ahead, start it up.
Yeah.
See if they can even get it started.
Yeah. Well,
those trucks are not like, if you don't know how to freaking like shift those gears, like the truck won't even start.
Well, I mean, look at our vehicles. If you give a civilian a Humvee, and if they find out that special thing that starts or doesn't start the Humvee, you know,
they would never know.
Exactly.
Like, how come there's no place to put the fucking keys?
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
You know, and it's the same thing with the trucks. You know, you just wouldn't know. And what's so interesting about this game is that all the buttons work. All the buttons work.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. So I decided to stream that day, and what I thought was really cool is that I recently learned that you can't stream music, but you could stream talk radio. So what the fuck did I do? Instead of listening to music while I'm driving this big ass truck, I put on MLB radio. You know, so I'm listening to MLB radio while driving the truck and having a good time, delivering pallets, wood, whatever. Scenery's great. Graphics are I mean, graphics. We can say that the graphics compare to how you're looking when you're driving GTA 5. So if you're
still pretty good.
Yeah,
it's still pretty good.
If you're driving in first person in GTA 5, you're pretty much it looks really good. The driving is kind of interesting, you know, because all your buttons are for everything: your pedals, your gas, your lights, your wipers, your radio, your window. You can roll your window down. You can customize your trucks. You can do jobs. You can do convoys. Fantastic game. Fantastic game. So my official rating for this game is a 9.1.
Wow.
Okay.
That's pretty good there.
You know, there's you don't need a store. You're doing work. You're doing work. Okay. I did a 1700 mile drive, and it took me literally about 45 minutes to an hour and a half to finish the job.
I'm sure.
You know, and it's very interesting, and I had one mishap where I just missed the bridge, and I fell back into the highway. Very interesting stuff. While I'm in the conversation of simulators, I have been playing Microsoft Flight Simulator more and more and more. They recently did an update where they compressed the game, where, you know, it's pretty much more playable if you have a computer, because the big issue was that the game was too high definition. It was too much. So a lot of high-end PCs that people were paying thousands of dollars for, the game, they couldn't handle the game. You know,
Shit.
That's a lot. That's saying something.
That's intense. Yeah.
You know, so they compressed the game. I went back into the game. I started playing it. I did the fucking training, and let me tell you, you know, I sent you some pictures through the chat, with the speedometers and all that stuff. It's the game is literally just like Truck Simulator, showing you how to drive a truck. This game is showing you how to fly a plane. Now, I don't know how accurate it is, if there's other factors of turning on the plane and stuff like that, but every button, whether you're flying a little personal Peabody plane or whether you're flying a airliner, every button works. Every button works. So if you press whatever fucking button and the plane fucking go topsy turvy, it's working. The mechanics are fantastic, and the graphics on this game are like 10 times better on this than there are on Truck Simulator. And this game is run, I believe, through Google Maps or Bing Maps. It's run through one of those, and you could, it's just so accurate. If you're flying close to buildings while your engines are running, you're gonna blow out the windows. So the game will stop in the middle of it and say, you're going too fast to be flying this slow. So you actually have to adjust. You have to adjust the engine levels. You have everything. A fantastic game.
That would be. I can't wait to fly a fucking F-14 Tomcat and buzz the tower like my hero Tom Cruise in Top Gun.
Yeah, and with the update coming July 27th, the game is coming onto console on the Xbox Series X.
God damn it!
But and I'm gonna get to this very soon after my next game review. You may be able to play it on the Xbox Cloud, and when I get to that, you're actually gonna be pretty excited about that. The next game that I have gotten into, which I told myself I would never play, it looks stupid. It just looks like too much to learn. Is Rogue Company.
Rogue Company?
Yes, it is a free-to-play third-person shooter. How can I compare this? So the game looks like it has the mechanics of The Division.
Okay.
With the character styles of Rainbow Six Siege. Each character has a different thing that they can do. One has a medic drone, another one has like special grenades and stuff like that. You get the gist. Each character.
Absolutely.
Each character is different, and Geo from Mercius Fragment, said, "Hey man, try this game out. If you don't like it, whatever, delete it." I'm like, okay, I'll try it out. And let me tell you, when you play a game and your first games you win 6 games in a row and you're averaging about 16 to 23 kills a game, that's a pretty good game that you're enjoying.
Absolutely. Starting off on the right foot with that game, huh?
Yeah, it's these kills don't feel cheap, in the words of Jay. These kills don't feel cheap because you're doing a lot in this game. You could actually do like a rolling maneuver to evade, which helps a lot. It gets aggravating because you could imagine, just like jumpers in Warzone, it gets aggravating, but you still get shots, whatever the fucking bullet velocity or the bullets curve, whatever. The game is cartoony as fuck and it makes it fun. The one cool thing that I really like is equipment. So I've been rocking with a character named Saint, and his character has a little medic drone, and I'm playing with Geo, Senor Cobalis, and he's down. He's like, throw me your drone. So I throw the drone at him, revives him. And in the game mode that we were playing, it's called Strikeout. You get 5 lives, 5 tickets, and it's like team deathmatch, but you only have 5 lives. And you could revive your teammates, which makes it even interesting because if you're reviving your teammate, you don't lose a ticket. And you're pretty much going, and at the same time you're protecting zones, so it's pretty much like Kill Confirmed meets Team Deathmatch meets Headquarters.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
We've had plenty of games on Modern Warfare that's pretty much exactly what we were doing. So I can imagine you being pretty good at it, getting 16 or 20 kills a game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like and winning your first 6 games out. Like,
Yeah, and when if I almost feel like, and I was kind of like deep diving on myself the other day about this, how there's just some games that are so familiar sometimes, or older games, that when you play this, you're just like, okay, I can figure this out pretty easily.
absolutely.
And the buttons aren't complicated at all. And I think the really cool thing about this game is that every match you start off with like $1,500. You have to buy your assault rifles, your equipment, and your perks, everything. If you don't buy none of that stuff, you don't start off with shit. You're
Right.
you're using these bad boys. Which,
Okay.
I mean, hey, I've seen some magic done with the fist in this game, so it's a fun game. My bad, my Microsoft Flight Simulator review number is a 9.6.
9.6 on
Yes,
the number. Okay.
yes,
Okay.
and it's a 9.6 because there's still areas of the map you can't see that I'm really interested in seeing.
Such as what?
I want to see Sweden.
You can't go to Sweden in that game.
You can't fly out of Sweden, and there's not really much when you fly over Sweden or Switzerland. You can't fly into Afghanistan either.
What?
Yeah, so I don't know what the issue with that is, but you could fly to Epstein Island. So
That pisses me off, man. I want to fucking. That's like one of the first places I would go.
Yeah,
I'd
but-
fly back over Afghanistan.
yeah, but in saying that, they're also going to have some updates. They just added Nordic countries into the game, which
Which would include Sweden.
yes, but these areas are beautiful. I'm gonna stream later on the page.
Okay.
And hopefully
Okay.
hopefully the computer can handle the stream and the game at the same time. But yeah, Rogue Company. Rogue Company's fun. I like it. It's not very. It gets laggy sometimes. I guess there's a lot of people that play it. Best part about it, it's a free game.
Okay.
It.
Free is a good price.
Yeah,
I like that price.
and when you start the game off, you start off with I think maybe 7 or 8 characters, which is it's good. It has a battle pass. If you feel like paying for it, you could. If you don't want to pay for it, it's not a pay to win game. So,
Okay.
I give that one an 8.7.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like graphics could be worked on. I think their servers could be worked on a little bit better. That's really my main thing. More. I would like to see them incorporate tournament events in this game, because from what I understand, this is a esports game as well. So a lot of esports teams play this, and I see a lot of fun things coming for this game. But I just think that there should be a little more work. And good work on the developers on this game, because it's actually not that bad. And now I got some bread and butter for you, man.
All right. Let's hear it. I'm excited for this.
So
I've been waiting for this.
So last week, the Xbox Cloud has officially been released on iPhone, on iOS, on PC, and there's so much about this. There's so much about the Xbox Cloud that I didn't believe, and I had to try it myself to see how true it was. First off, the Xbox Cloud, you don't need to download anything.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely. Already like that part.
If you already have an account, you don't have to pay for anything extra.
Okay. All right.
And the best part about this, you get Xbox Series X hard software while playing on the cloud.
Really?
Yes. I'll get more in depth with that in a few minutes. It has, on the mobile side of the cloud, there are specific games that you can actually use your screen to play with, which is pretty cool. Which is more of like the independent kiddie games like Overcooked. You can use your fingers and stuff like that, or you could be traditional and you could Bluetooth connect your Xbox remote to your phone and you could play it that way. Again, it's not an app that you have to download. You go into your phone browser, you sign in, it asks you to do this thing where you actually you turn the website icon into a homepage icon on your phone. And when you click it, it goes directly into it. It literally. You know what? I'm just gonna fucking show it to you guys.
There you go.
So
Maybe
here,
you should just fucking show us.
so here's my phone, and this is the cloud gaming app. So when we jump into it, it starts up, and there it is. There are all my games.
Awesome.
You know, as you can see, oh look right here, MLB The Show.
There you go.
I got Batman in there. So
we got a comment from Deshaun Myers who's saying that this is a mobile gaming level up.
This really is, and it's not even considered mobile gaming. It's just mobile gaming extension. Like this changes everything. Look at this. MLB The Show has started on my phone with no issues. The game works, and on top of that, my Xbox console isn't even on.
What the fuck?
My console hasn't even turned on. That's
intense, dude.
Yeah.
That is like that's next level shit, man.
Okay, and on the PCs,
you were right, Deshaun. Like he did call it. He said he called that out a couple weeks ago, and he's not wrong. I remember. Yeah. I remember when he mentioned something like that. One of his comments on
he did
podcast 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And I mean, Deshaun actually suggested this device called it's a Razer item. If you have this thing, your cloud gaming setup is perfected. Throw on some fucking Bluetooth headphones and dude, that's it. You know, that's completely it. Now, not all games are available on this, but there are a lot of games that are. Game Pass games are available on the cloud.
Okay.
Okay, so now, Jay, you could go on your shitty laptop, not have to worry about overclocking or burning out your laptop, and you could play A Way Out with me without downloading anything on your fucking laptop.
Okay.
You could, if you were.
What about Flight Simulator?
We're gonna get to that in a second, because I have a theory about I have a really big theory about this, about Microsoft Flight Simulator coming. What was I at now? What point did I just say?
You were talking about me being able to play on my laptop without burning out the hard drive.
Oh yeah, you could play
stretching the limits of the capacity basically for my whatever device I'm using for the cloud.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say you're about to drive to Kansas City.
Okay.
So let's say, you're bored, you can't fall asleep, and you say, fuck it, I'm going to Bluetooth my controller to my laptop or my phone. I'm going to put it right here in front of me while Nikki's driving, and I'm just going to play. You could do that.
Okay.
You could fucking do that.
Okay.
You could sit there on the road.
And just play.
Play with your meat, play your game at the same time. While you're on the open road,
I like doing both of those things on road trips. So thank you. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Sir.
and it works. It fucking works. And this is the biggest development in gaming right now, and it's another big slap in the face to Sony. I hate
Sony.
I hate to say it.
No, I know we've been kind of Sony bashing lately, but you know what? We're gonna continue this week because Sony is just not.
They're still silent.
Dude, just dead silence. They ain't coming out with shit. They're not announcing shit. I'm starting to question whether or not they stop giving a fuck altogether.
Yeah, and
they're just
and what's interesting too, they just bought out a PC studio too.
They better come out with the fucking shiniest diamond here in the next 6 months, dude, because they are failing fucking miserably right now.
Yeah, and I mean
just absolutely face planting right now.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Cake. All right, we got some cake here. Yeah, Sony doesn't have shit on this, and I'm a Sony fan. It's heartbreaking because we said this a couple weeks ago. I was asked by Sean, do you feel like they're dividing gamers? And I still stand by my comment that yes, they are. Where is the competition?
There is none right now.
Exactly.
That's what I'm worried. That's what I'm worried
I
about. There is none.
I remember a time when Call of Duty and Battlefield were duking it out who had the best fucking trailer.
Right.
I remember when PlayStation and Xbox used to go at it. We're releasing all these things. No, I'm releasing this. Well, we got Halo. Ha ha ha. We bought the Call of Duty rights. You know, like, it's
Right.
always been a competition. Where the fuck is the competition? There's no excitement. If I was a 16-year-old kid and my parent told me, it's time for you to get your first official, your own console. 16
Right.
is a little much, but I feel like 16 is like a good, like,
Good age.
you know,
age
a good
to, like,
milestone age to have your first official console. And
Right.
my parents said, hey, so which one would you want? I'll be like, fuck that, get me a PC. So I don't even need an Xbox.
Right.
Just pay for my
Right.
Xbox account. You know, Xbox is literally leading the way with everything. The Xbox Cloud is no different. And here's another reason why you should use the Xbox Cloud. I have been obsessed with wanting to play the MLB Stadium creator in the show.
Uh-huh.
And I can't play that with old gen. I go on the
Oh.
I go on the cloud, Xbox Series X software. I'm making stadiums.
Shut the fuck up. Can you make a stadium for your team, the veterans?
Yeah.
The new veterans?
You have to see what I made. It's called Veterans Memorial
Oh.
Stadium.
Dude, I want to fucking see that shit, bro. I want to see that shit. That's it. I know you kick ass in that fucking game. Dude, I remember you made that dude fucking rage quit that fucking one night. He was like talking all that shit, fucking, because you threw a fucking no hitter on him and shit.
Oh man,
Like,
I was so excited that day too. My kid,
dude, you
I-
deserved every accolade.
I remember-
You whipped that motherfucker's ass and you pissed him off so bad.
I screamed so loud. My kids were like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "No hitter, baby, let's go!"
Yeah. What I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
but yeah, I could do the Stadium Creator on this game, and the Stadium Creator. You could, first off, you could literally make the stadium for Field of Dreams.
Hell yeah.
You know, you could
Like where I'm at here in Iowa, right? Like,
yeah,
that's literally where I'm at right now.
you could literally make that. You could literally make that field. On top of that,
And we get it.
we
Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, you could change the sceneries, the seating, everything. I cannot wait to show you guys the Veterans Memorial Stadium for the new.
See it.
And I changed the colors of my uniforms too.
What'd you change him to?
I went from the Fallout blue and yellow to the army black and yellow.
Okay. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, so
Fuck yeah.
the only issue I have with Xbox is the toxic community. I have played in both PlayStation and Xbox community, and the Xbox community is hella toxic, but it's nothing to put people on mute to play. So still, Xbox is killing it. You know, and I have
Absolutely.
to agree with
100%.
that.
100% agree with that.
You know, the Xbox, and we talked about this too. There was an article that came out that Xbox players are the most toxic gamers in the community.
Doesn't surprise me.
You know, this
Doesn't surprise me.
we covered this a couple episodes ago, and I'm not surprised. But it just goes to say we have a lot of bragging rights.
Yeah.
We have a lot.
Hey, remind me before we get too close to our final thoughts here. We need to do a preview for next Saturday, because before we do our next podcast, there's a big UFC coming up next Saturday.
Oh shit!
So we need to get predictions. We need to get our official predictions so that we can look back on this in a week and see if we were right or if we were wrong. So don't let me forget that. I forgot to mention that earlier. I apologize.
That's so hard.
What's that?
It's gonna be so
What's that?
hard. It's so hard.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting one.
I think so. Microsoft Flight Simulator. This game, if you ask me, I believe it's coming because it's already on Game Pass for the PC.
Right.
So it would make sense for them to put it on the Game Pass on the cloud.
I would sure hope they do someday, because I would fucking jizz my goddamn
yeah.
pants,
And if
dude.
there's anything that we learned within the last couple months, especially with the Fortnite and Apple case, Xbox doesn't make a profit on their consoles.
No, we discussed that. We discussed that a few weeks ago.
They depend on the replayability of the games, and that goes to coincide with the Game Pass is.
That's right.
It's
Exactly right.
It's free games for us to play, and like Deshaun says, there are so many titles on Game Pass. There are so many games. So with Flight Simulator already being on the Game Pass on PC, I would not be surprised if it came on the Game Pass for the cloud. It just makes sense. It just
You let me know. You let me fucking know.
It just
because I will legitimately like fucking just I'll be in a puddle in a corner, melted. Like because
it just makes
I really want to play this fucking game.
it just makes so much sense to have it done, because why not? You want people to play. You want people to play the game. That's what you want. And I mean, the numbers on MLB The Show since coming to Xbox, it's been insane. To the point that now, first off, EA, you're a bunch of fucking assholes, because you want to buy a fucking shitty baseball game, a cartoony baseball game, to try to compete with MLB The Show, when you guys could have been making a baseball game for the last 20 fucking years to compete with the show, and you guys haven't done shit. Now you want to make a fucking baseball game? No, fuck you. Give me a college baseball game. I don't want another MLB game. Give me college baseball.
Fuck you, EA.
Yeah, because and I've been meaning to talk about that. That pisses me off so much, because people like me have been waiting to play a baseball game for 20 fucking years.
Right.
No, it's no joke. 20 years.
EA is like the fucking Sony of fucking like video game companies. You know what I mean? Like they're fucking like just fucking it up.
And they completely said, "Nah, fuck you." So they buy Super Mega Baseball, which is the only baseball game that Xbox had.
Right.
It was fun. It was good, but it wasn't fun.
What was it? Fun fucking 10 years ago? Like I mean.
Yeah, and the last one that came out, they tried to incorporate like real fields and stuff, which made it look nice. But when your character has a head that looks like a fucking hot air balloon, and your body looks like a fucking pencil dick.
Right.
I don't want to play it. I'm sorry.
Right.
So if EA is gonna make a baseball game, make a fucking college baseball game, because college baseball is exciting too. There's college football, and I don't know if you heard this. This relates to gaming news. Actually, breaking news: college football games now have to play the college football players for using their likeness in the games.
Good. That should have been. They should have been able to do. They should have been doing that a long fucking time ago.
Absolutely. So remember, if EA, you're doing this for college football, make a college baseball game. It's too easy. It's too easy.
Yep.
You have a lot of great colleges out there who have amazing players.
Yep.
And so the Xbox Cloud, I'm going to give it a 9.0. A straight solid 9. There's a lot of it's still in beta. There's still a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of options for you to play.
But you can see the promise in it. You can see the promise of
absolutely
what is to come.
I could see them, and now they did have an article that they talked about going consoleless for the next era.
Holy shit!
If they can, I don't think we're ready for that yet. I don't think we are either. Yeah, I think technology-wise, I don't think that we're there yet. And if we are, I mean, explain it to us, because we want to understand it. Because
convince me not to have a fucking separate console, basically.
Convince me. Absolutely, because we have all these. Google uses cloud services. There's so many companies that use cloud services. They all work.
Right.
Gaming is a whole nother animal.
Absolutely,
and we've seen the failure of Stadia. Mm-hmm. the Amazon game cloud gaming thing, it's not doing that good. So
Right.
what is Xbox gonna do that's gonna make it the best? You know, so
Right.
maybe we're gonna talk about this 5 months from now that's just changed so much better. But guys, do the cloud. Just do the cloud. You have to do it. If you're an Xbox user, a PC user, mobile game user, get the cloud. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Deshaun says the Luna looks bad, which
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Fucking fuck Amazon in general right now. I'm really not a big fan of that company as a whole right now. I know they employ a lot of people, but yeah, we're not gonna go there. It's 4th of July. I'm trying to fucking have a good day, so we're not gonna go there right now.
And while it's 4th of July, I got 15 facts for you
Oh, here you go. Facts about what? About what? 4th of July?
about the 4th of July.
Okay. Let's fucking hear this shit.
All right.
I want to hear this shit. I'll tell you what. You give the facts, and I'll tell you if I fucking knew that fact already or not. How about that?
All right, let's do it. Number
Let's
one,
do it.
we didn't actually declare independence on the 4th of July.
That is technically true. So the Declaration of Independence was signed on 4th of July,
Yes.
but they still had to ship that motherfucker to England. So England wasn't really probably aware of our intents
Yeah.
on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So that is definitely technically true.
Yeah,
Technically true.
it says the official vote, and you're right. The vote took place 2 days before, but the declaration was published on the 4th. So
Right. So yeah.
that's really,
Last second.
I don't really see that to be like a big thing either. I mean, because we got to remember, there was no email, there was no internet,
No.
snail mail wasn't even there yet.
Oh fuck no.
We're talking-
Fuck no.
we're talking about bird mail.
Pony Express, man. They like you had to send a letter to your cousin in England, man. Like you're not getting a response for like 6 fucking
Oh, you're
months,
fucked.
bro.
You're fucked. Can you imagine I see, we have to start doing shorts. Like the moment they found out America declared independence, like what the fuck?
The fuck is this upstart colony fucking think they're doing?
Like-
God damn it!
Like Thomas? Ben?
Where the fuck are you guys going? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Just do whatever the fuck you want? No.
I can only like imagine like them get. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing good old my PT
Oh, you
shirt.
got your good old fucking old school PT shirt on, huh?
Yeah, it still fits.
There you go.
It still fits. Yeah, but I think about that all the time. What was the reaction of the king when he got? I mean, you could like.
We were the first, baby. We were the first.
Can you imagine the guy who has the letter in his hand, giving it to him, shaking like?
Your Highness, we have a problem.
Number 2, the designer of the 50-star flag lived in Lancaster, Ohio. In 1958,
Okay, did not know that. Definitely did not know that.
Yeah, a history teacher assigned the class assignment to redesign the national flag as both Alaska and Hawaii neared statehood. Robert Heft, who was 16 at the time, designed the new flag using the old 48-star flag and $2.87 worth of blue cloth and white iron-on material.
Perfect.
His design earned him a B-, to which he challenged by sending it to Washington, D.C. to be considered by President Eisenhower. Eisenhower, great president right there. We
Absolutely.
We got
probably one of our last like really truly good presidents.
yeah, we actually had a really good conversation about him a couple weeks ago too.
We did.
According to his obituary, Hef was one of thousands to submit a flag design, but he was the only person who actually stitched together a flag and shipped it to D.C.
Really?
Once the flag was selected, his grade was rightfully changed to an A, and his design became the official flag in 1960.
That's badass. Good shit. Good shit.
Yep.
By the way, for those of you that are not tracking, that's the blue field of stars has 5 rows of 6 and 4 rows of 5, for a grand total of 50. One star each, representing all of our great states in our union. And then, of course, the 13 stripes are symbolic of the 13 original colonies. For those of you guys not plussed up on your flag history, so start doing some
Absolutely.
fucking research, so I don't have to fucking tell you this shit on a podcast.
All right, number 3. This one's actually kind of funny, and I have a cool story to tell about this. Americans will enjoy 150 million hot dogs during the 4th.
Fuck yeah, I believe that.
Very American.
I'm
According to
completely American. I totally believe it too, because there's 330 plus million people in this country, which means on average, each person is eating like slightly less than half a hot dog this weekend. So yes, I believe that 100%.
So,
believe
according
I'm
to-
going to be having a hot dog today at Kauffman Stadium, watching the Royals play this afternoon. So
baby, Jay is going to see the the Kansas City Royals later, eating a ballpark Frank.
yeah, that's right. That's
Yep.
right.
According to the National Sausage and Hot Dog Council, Americans are expected to eat 150 million hot dogs over the holiday. This is part of an estimated 7 billion that are expected to be eaten during the summer season from Memorial to Labor Day. One cool thing that I did in my life, my younger years, I went to the National Hot Dog the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest in Coney Island.
Who won it that year?
Joey Chestnut won that year.
Joey Chestnut won? Okay.
Yeah, so first off, it's not all as nice as it looks on the TV. There's a lot of fucking people there, okay? A lot of people. And let me tell you, I still, to this day, I still eat like I'm in basic training, but these motherfuckers eat like they're on their first day of boot, man. Because they are sucking these things down, drinking these waters, hydrating themselves, and dipping these hot dogs in water just to, whew.
Just to eat it, just to get it down. Yeah,
It's one of the most craziest things to ever witness, and one of the most hype crowds I've ever seen. More than a concert, more than a wrestling show, more than a sports event. Like there is nothing more American than seeing a bunch of assholes shove hot dogs down their throats to win a lifetime supply of Nathan's.
Hey, man,
It's
we get down like that here too. We swallow the homies goodnight too. They're swallowing fucking all that meat down their mouth. Okay, like we get down like that too. That's okay.
Deshaun Meyer says there's a problem in America if we have a National Hot Dog and Sausage Association.
It's very American.
It really is. It really is. It's so funny to me. This is interesting to me that I did not know. Only 2 men signed the Declaration of Independence on the 4th. The other 54 delegates signed over the course of the next month.
Okay. That also does not surprise me. I can't say I knew that specifically, but that does not surprise me. Like I did know they were not all present at the actual time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like okay.
And while we're in that conversation, just remember, folks, because I know some people still think this. Ben Franklin, he's on the 100. He's on the 100, but he is not a president.
He was not a president. There's also one more that was not a president. Do you know which one it is? As far as our money. Dun, 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 dun,
Hamilton, Jefferson,
dun, 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 dun,
Washington, Lincoln.
dun, dun,
No.
dun, dun. Who you got?
No,
Who's on the $10 bill?
Jefferson.
Negative. That's Hamilton.
Hamilton. Oh,
And
Alexander.
he was not a president. He was actually killed by a sitting vice president in a duel, of all things.
That's right.
He was killed by Aaron Burr.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Alexander Hamilton on our $10 bill, Benjamin Franklin on the $100 bill, neither of which were presidents.
Listen, guys, if you need a history lesson, come right to Jay. You know, we need to get you on that history show, Drunk History Lessons.
Well, I got a couple of stories I could tell, like a little bit twisty, dude. Like, I do. Feed me some alcohol, and I could probably get into some like pretty kick-ass stories, dude.
Hey, man, we may actually be able to film that in person.
You might have to. You might have to, because yeah, that might be a good time.
Yep. Number 5. There is something written on the back of the Declaration of Independence. And no, it
Ooh.
isn't a treasure map written in invisible ink. A simple message is written upside down across the bottom of the signed document that reads, Original Declaration of Independence dated 4th of July, 1776. According to the same article, no one knows who wrote this or when, but it was believed to have been added as a label during the years of the Revolutionary War when the parchment was frequently rolled up for transport. Sounds like a watermark type.
Yeah, kind of like to make sure that it was like officially official. Hey, I got a little bit of trivia for you. Do you know what kind of paper, what they made that parchment that the Declaration of Independence was written on? Do you know what they made that parchment out of?
Why do I want to say papyrus?
You want to say something else, but it's not papyrus.
No, because papyrus is from the old days.
Yeah, you're thinking about like ancient Egypt and shit.
Rice? Was it rice?
No, it's not rice. I'll give you
Hemp?
a big hint.
Is it hemp?
Yes.
It was hemp, yeah.
Yes. So our Constitution is not written on hemp, but the Declaration of Independence is printed on hemp parchment.
What?
So
you could
the original document of all documents that stands the test of time and spans the course of history, kind of like the Magna Carta. You know, if we're talking about Western civilization, the Declaration of Independence of the United States of America was written on hemp parchment, which up until 2018 was illegal in the United States.
Deshaun Meyer says it says eat our ass, which is yeah.
Eat our fucking ass.
That's literally. I mean, if you think about that, it's kind of like yeah. Here you go, America. Declaration, eat our ass. Yeah. That is it. That is so. I would not do this, guys. I would not do this, but I'm sure some asshole could safely smoke the Declaration of Independence. That's. I mean,
I don't know that it would do much for them. You know, being that it's hemp, and we don't have all the extraction.
Well, I'm saying like they could roll it up.
Yeah, like our friends over at Blaze Online might be able to tell us how to extract something from it, right? But I don't think it would probably just be. But yeah, that's actually what it's printed on. That's a very little known fact.
That's interesting. One signed later recanted the Declaration of Independence. Richard Stockton, a lawyer from New Jersey, became the only signer of the Declaration of Independence to recant his support of the revolution after being captured by the British and thrown in jail.
Oh, I see. He was a revolutionary and he got captured and he got cold feet. He didn't want to go all in.
After years of abusive treatment and his recanting of loyalties, Stockton was released to find all of his property destroyed or stolen by the British. His library, one of the finest in the colonies, was burned to the ground.
Good. If he's going to sit there and recant his signature on the Declaration of Independence, I'm glad his property got destroyed.
Yep, me too.
You know, if you're going to go all in, man, go all in. Dive head first into the deep end. Don't be a pussy, right? Like
this is interesting. The average age of signers was 45 years. Of the 56 signers, the youngest one was Thomas Lynch Jr. and Edward Rutledge of South Carolina, who were only 26. However, Benjamin Franklin was 70 years old at the time.
Yes, he was. Benjamin Franklin. You want to talk about a man that lived a very fascinating life. This dude was living like the jet set lifestyle 200 years before jets were even a thing. Okay, this guy had friends, and he had friends in Europe. He had friends in the colonies. He had friends all over the place. He hung out. He was an inventor. He liked
no one gave a fuck. And no one gave a fuck.
He liked drinking and womanizing and everything else. This dude was a rock and roll star before rock and roll ever existed, right? So, and he was 70. Yeah, he was about 70 years old when the Declaration was signed.
Now,
so yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is he the one that didn't talk to his own son because his son was a follower of the king?
Not sure. Give me about 15 seconds here. Let me look that up because I I know. I want to say I vaguely recall kind of what you're alluding to, but I don't remember if it was Ben Franklin or not. So give me 1 second here. Okay, let's see here. Family life. His Wikipedia is immense, by the way.
Oh yeah, I think I can't remember. I believe for some odd reason I believe it was him who had a son that was still a follower of the king, and
Yes.
they didn't speak to each other for like 10 years or something like that.
And that very well could be. And that, we've had our discussions on here about the Civil War. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of stuff that occurred that was very, very similar to
What happened in the
very similar to that in
Revolutionary?
the Civil War, where families would be split down the middle. Father was for the Union, son was for the Confederacy.
due to political, loyalties, and people forget too that after the American Revolution, there were still British people living in the colonies that were still
there were.
for the king.
They were still loyalists. Yeah, they were called loyalists.
Yeah.
And they were still loyal. They were still loyal to the crown, and that's very true.
Yep.
And
And all this and during this time, there was that French revolutionary who fought with us.
Lafayette.
Yep.
You're talking about the Marquis de Lafayette.
Yes, sir.
He was actually Lafayette was actually so he was a general in the Revolutionary War for us, and he assisted us and helped whip a lot of our militiamen into fighting shape. And where he is buried in France, in Paris, France, where Lafayette is buried, there's actually a French flag and an American flag at his gravesite. In addition, they took soil from the colonies when they buried him so that he would be buried underneath American soil. And when we liberated,
Very beautiful.
yeah, and when we liberated Paris in 1944, if I'm not mistaken, when we liberated Paris after the D-Day landings, one of the American generals went to his grave and saluted him and said, "Lafayette, we are here." So he kept a promise. He kept a promise to us as a Frenchman, and helped us defeat our mothership, the British. And we returned the favor in 1944 when we liberated his country from Nazi Germany.
What a crazy fucking time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The American Revolution, independence from Great Britain, the
It's
type
unheard of concept. Up until 1776, this is an unknown concept in world history. No country up until the United States did it. No country had ever broken off and just done their own fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, this is unheard of. It's unheralded in world history. So they a nickname that the United States has is the Great Experiment.
Yeah.
Democracy had never been tried before. This was a new thing. It was a brand new thing, a whole new concept. Like, you mean we don't have to live under the thumb of a king or a queen or
who's on the other side of the world?
Right. And because we were surrounded by two great oceans, it's not easy to get here. So for a long time, when you just had like rickety ass boats to take you across those vast expanses of water, you weren't going to get there quick. You know what I mean? So we were pretty sheltered when we broke off from Great Britain, when we broke off from England, the United Kingdom.
Yep.
We were pretty safe. Like,
and remember,
you guys don't like us? All right, come get us. It's going to take you 3 fucking months to get here.
and remember that just 300 years before that, Christopher Columbus was invading the Americas.
Yes, down in the Caribbean. That's right.
That's
right.
So there was a lot going. So a lot happened in 300 years. Britain became this giant empire in it was already a big empire, but look how much it grew into in those 300 years until the American Revolution.
Do a Google search and do world flags, and go and start scrolling down and see how many of the world flags still to this day have the Union Jack from the United Kingdom on their flag.
Australia is one of them.
Australia is definitely one of them. But yeah, and there's so many of those flags still have the Union Jack. They were former British colonies, before they gained their independence. But the United States did it first.
Absolutely.
We were the originals, baby. We were the originals. Like,
OGs, baby.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Absolutely.
All right? That's what I'm talking about.
Number 8, the Declaration of Independence was written on a laptop, not a modern laptop. Thomas Jefferson drafted the Declaration of Independence on a writing desk that could literally fit over one's lap. The device referred to at the time as a laptop.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
That's pretty cool. I had no idea about that either. I actually
Very
picture like a little computer desk that you would buy like at Target or something. Use something
That's
like that.
I like that a lot. That was a fun fact. That was definitely a fun fact.
That's cool.
I like that.
Number 9. According to the American Pyrotechnics Association, Deshaun Myers, what the fuck? According to the American Pyrotechnics Associations, Americans spend more than $1 billion on fireworks each year. Out of this, 10% of fireworks displays are set off professionally, which probably accounts for the estimated 12,900 fireworks-related emergency room visits across the country each year. According to Fortune magazine, of those injuries occurring between June and July, almost 70% were experienced by men.
Oh, I guarantee it. Yeah.
Right.
So like, there's a meme floating around on the internet right now. It's like somebody went to work on Friday, not realizing this was going to be the last week, and they had all 10 of their fingers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And
I actually went a little crazy. I got a bunch of fireworks on the way up here.
oh shit.
And we set about half of them off here, and I'm going to set the other half off tonight down in Kansas City. But yeah, you have to be very, very careful with that stuff. They are explosives,
Yeah.
and you have to be very, very careful. So yes.
Baby, are you buying fireworks today? No. After the last one, just go to my job. Get the $10 one. She'll get it.
I value your life.
You value my life more than I do? Number 10. On the second anniversary of Independence Day in 1778, American troops were fighting the American Revolutionary War. During this time, George Washington ordered a double ration of rum for American soldiers to celebrate the holiday.
That's what I'm talking about. The father of our country, okay? The granddaddy of them all, like the original general of the infantry, okay? My man George Washington. He gave us a double ration of rum 2 years after, while we were still fighting the revolution.
Yep.
He took care of his grunts. That's what I like. That's what I like. We love General Washington in the infantry.
Wooden teeth and all. Wooden teeth.
Say that
and
again.
all.
Oh, wooden teeth. Yeah.
I mean, but a lot of people don't know this too. That George Washington's teeth, he had animal teeth. He had wood. He had wood teeth. He probably had a gold tooth in there, probably. But his teeth were fucked up. For those who don't know, he had fucked up teeth.
Yeah, he did. He was also a survivor of smallpox. So he had smallpox scars. He had smallpox scars all over his face.
Yeah,
that's a little known factoid that a lot of people don't realize. He was a smallpox survivor.
Yeah.
So,
Deshaun, I am mind officially blown on that fact. I have to agree. The laptop thing, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Number 11, fireworks date back as a tradition of Independence Day as early as the first anniversary in 1777.
Fucking bad.
That is badass. John Adams wrote in a letter to his wife Abigail that he wanted Independence Day to be celebrated with pomp, parades, shows, and illuminations. The letter was written when Adams presumed that Independence Day was on July 2nd.
Interesting. So he was still under the impression that it was the day that they actually filled out the form versus the day that it was dated.
Absolutely. Which again, a lot of people, we're going back to this again. That a lot of people truly thought that, again, back to the mail. There were a lot of people who who had no idea that this happened. Right.
Yeah. If you were not living like in was it Philadelphia?
Yep.
At the time, if you lived in New Amsterdam, i.e. New York, and a bunch of dignitaries signed this document in Philadelphia on the 2nd, of July in 1776. You probably didn't have a clue for at least freaking about a week.
Yeah,
Like
and even then, a lot people were probably the king. All hail the king! And you're just like, bro,
right,
this is America now, motherfucker.
this is America, bitch. Like we're doing things our way.
Yep. Number 12. Although an official national census was not completed until 1790, the U.S. Census Bureau estimates that there were only 2.5 million people living in America in 76 when the Declaration of Independence was signed, which is still a lot of people for that time.
That's a lot. Oh yes, there's a lot of people for that time. Yes, it is.
Because even then, okay, so the 13 colonies were pretty much the whole eastern board of the United States.
Right.
So if you look at the population of the East Coast now, it's not very surprising that there were that many people living on that side of the country during that time.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because 2.5 million people is a couple blocks in New York City. So
Right. Right.
you need to put that into perspective. 2017, 325 million people were on the census in the United States. So that's
awesome.
that's a big number.
Yes, it is.
This one I actually knew, and I'm gonna go on a whim and say that you actually know this one because this is actually part of the U.S. flag code. How many of you own a flag T-shirt, beach towel, shorts, headband, or any other item that representative of the U.S. flag? It turns out that you are in violation of the U.S. flag code. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a real thing. If you do not know this, and this is something that I learned a few years ago while I was in. The U.S. flag code states that you are in violation if you sell or display any article of merchandise upon which have been printed, painted, attached, or otherwise placed a representation of the flag in order to advertise, call attention to, decorate, mark, or distinguish the article or substance on which so placed. That being said, in this instance, the flag code is not enforced or even enforceable, so don't worry, you won't get arrested by the flag police. But do know that you shouldn't do it.
Well, and this is the thing that goes all the way back. We're talking probably, if not the Revolutionary era, very shortly thereafter, because when we started having parades and parties and picnics for the 4th of July to celebrate the anniversary of our independence, people have been doing this for hundreds of years in our country. Our country is very young on the world stage. We're only 245 years old today. But people have been doing and making flag related stuff, the stars and stripes or red, white, and blue or whatever. They've been doing that like literally since like the 1800s.
Yeah,
it's been going on for a long, long time. So don't feel bad if you've got your ranger panties in with the stars and stripes, like as the theme or whatever.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. Like, nobody's coming after you.
Yeah, and no one's gonna bitch at you about it either.
No.
I'm not going to be like, take that fucking hat off. You're in violation of the flag.
Anybody that throws a fit over that, like, clearly forgot like their childhood and like growing up and like where like everything was like American flag themed. You know what I mean, nobody's going to come after you for
also,
that.
Deshaun Meyer said also altering the flag colors is a violation, which is also very true.
Correct. That is correct.
That is also very true.
Yes, it is. But again, not very enforceable, and nobody's really going to do anything about it, which is why you see everything that you see on any given day, like somebody's got bumper stickers or whatever of whatever their alteration of the flag is. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Oh, this is mind-blowing. Within 5 hours of each other on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence.
Let me stop you right there. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams died.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I knew that one. I knew both John, but our second president John Adams and our third president Thomas Jefferson died within hours of each other on the 50th anniversary on July 4th. Would that be 1826?
Yep,
1826.
1826. That is it. I did not know that. That's actually very interesting and a really interesting part of American history right there.
Yes. Yes.
And if you guys haven't seen, if you guys haven't seen John Adams on HBO, I think it was on HBO. Paul Giamatti plays John Adams, and they have a great cast. Older show, check it out. Really
I need
good.
to see that. I need to see that. I could totally see him playing John Adams. Holy
Yeah,
crap!
he did a good job. He did a good job too. That John Adams show was. I don't think.
He's one of the founding fathers of our country, but he's also very unheralded.
Yeah.
Like he really like he kind of got like I don't want to say he got lost in history. He kind of slips between the cracks of like Washington, Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin.
Yep.
You know, some of like the more big name founding fathers that everybody likes to cite their sources and use as examples for this or that. John Adams is definitely very unheralded.
He's in that conversation.
Yeah. Oh, not only should he be part of the conversation, he was one of the heavy hitters. He was one of the heavy hitters, and people don't realize that because he kind of just slips between the cracks when the history of the revolution comes up. Basically, he slips between the cracks like quite often. So,
Yep.
But yeah, he was our second president right after General Washington, and then Thomas Jefferson succeeded him, but they both ended up dying on the same exact day. In 1826, 50 years after the founding of our country.
That's very interesting. And our last, but not least, July 4th was not deemed a federal holiday until 1870, 96 years after the nation was founded.
So basically, you just had to party the night before and shoot off some fireworks and go right back to the fields the next morning, right?
Yep.
Right.
There was no day off. There was no,
No hot dogs. I mean, you might have had a hot dog, but no, you got to go back to work the next day. So I hope you didn't tie one off last night to celebrate, right?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, man, before we get to the final thoughts, do you want to hit those predictions real quick?
Yeah, so let me look up the card. I'm only gonna make probably 2 or 3 legit predictions here, and which one I have a problem with. You know exactly which one I have a problem with.
Yeah.
That's the main event is the one that I have a big problem with right now because we had the same exact conversation the last time they fought, and it's hard. This is gonna be a hard one to. So let me get into a couple of the other fights real quick. Okay, Sean O'Malley is fighting a very unheralded fighter. Smart money is on O'Malley, and he's gonna put him away quick. The fighter that Sean O'Malley is fighting came in on extremely short notice. His record, the opponent's record, is 9-4. So this guy took a fight on like 3 days' notice.
Yeah, he doesn't even have an official photo.
No, he does not. So if you're a betting man or a betting woman, smart money in that fight obviously is going to be Sean O'Malley. You're not going to get very good odds on it because he is going to be heavily favored. So don't expect to make a lot of money on it. But if you're going for a trifecta, Sean O'Malley is pretty much a gimme fight. That's a gimme fight.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna win. You're gonna win your money back on that fight.
Yeah, and
almost assuredly.
Yeah, and I have absolutely nothing to add to that. I'm a huge Sean O'Malley fan. I stick with him all the time. He's a huge gamer. He's a a likable person. He's a humble dude and a fantastic fighter. So
he really is. Yeah, your smart money is on Sean O'Malley. Now for heavyweights, we got Tai Tuivasa and Greg Hardy. Smart money is going to be on Tuivasa.
Absolutely.
Now here's the problem with this prediction.
Hardy is very unpredictable.
And they're heavyweights. So your smart money is going to be on Tuivasa, but don't forget it's a heavyweight fight. One punch.
Yeah, you're going down. Yeah, and Greg Hardy, Greg Hardy was I believe he was an NFL player at one point too. So he could take a hit. Yeah. Fantastic fighter, but when he gets hit, he goes down.
Yes.
It happened very very much recently. He's a great fighter. I'm very, again, the smart money is Tuivasa, but I'm going for Greg Hardy. But again, he is also very unpredictable because I'm
gonna say Tuivasa on that fight, but I'm also not gonna be eating humble pie if Hardy wins because I did I had the disclaimer up that it's a heavyweight fight and one punch ends the fight in those every time.
You know, when are we going to see?
Gilbert,
When are we going to see?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
When are we going to see Ngannou again, man? I'm ready for that. I'm ready for him again.
You know what? Let's save that conversation for next week because
Yeah.
I got a big bone to pick with the UFC right now. Big giant bone to pick with the UFC, and we have brought it up on this podcast before. The exact tone of that conversation. So we'll save that one for next week after the results are in. So, but Gilbert Burns and Stephen Thompson. I know who I'm picking. Who are you picking?
So Stephen Thompson, smart fighter,
Mm-hmm.
very smart fighter. Gilbert Burns, very strong and fast. You know what? I'm gonna have to go with Gilbert. He's on a hot run right now.
Ooh, I like this because I got Wonder Boy.
Yeah, Gilbert Burns. You know, he lost. The only loss that he's taken recently is to Usman. He's got power. He's humble. He's ready to fight. He's hungry. Wonder Boy's hungry as hell too. He's hungry as hell too. But I like Burns. I like Burns.
Here's my prediction for the fight. It's going to go. It's the co-main. It's going to go to a decision, and Wonder Boy is going to get the decision. That's my. I very rarely will make a prediction like that for a UFC fight, based on both fighters, and especially based on Stephen Thompson, who I'm picking to win. I believe Thompson is going to make it a points fight, and he's going to take it to a decision. So that's my prediction for that fight.
I could see that. I could definitely see that going into decision.
Now let's do the hard one. And it's only hard because of one of the participants. One of the participants being Conor McGregor. So this one is a hard one for me to pick because we made all of our predictions on their last fight in January, and we were both dead wrong. We were dead fucking wrong, especially with how it ended. So that makes the third fight coming a short 6 months later even harder to predict because McGregor's still McGregor, and I have to assume Pourier hasn't lost a step. But what we've seen with McGregor is every time he loses, he comes back with something a little bit different. Every time.
He comes back with something
Every
new.
time he's lost or every time he's taken a step back, he's come back with a new ball game. So is McGregor going to come back with a new ball game, or is he going to get his lights put out like he did in January? Your prediction, John.
All right, so Dustin Poirier, another one who's on fire right now. He's got the hot sauce. He's always in the gym. He's always learning something new. He's always watching tape. He is everything that personifies what a UFC champion is right now. Everything. Conor McGregor comes back with a new plan every time. When he came back and got caught and defeated Cowboy, he used that shoulder thing. You know, too bad he couldn't get Khabib because I honestly feel like he would have given him a challenge. Now he's going back to his third Poirier fight. We're going one-on-one. This is going to be the last time that I'm going to be putting my heart and soul into believing in Conor McGregor. And the reason why I'm believing in him for this last time, because since the last Poirier fight and going into now, if you go on his Twitter, his Instagram accounts, he is in the gym all the fucking time. He is in there all the fucking time. Is it for show? I don't think so. Because this man loves to work out. Look at the guy.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do a leg pump in one day, he's probably having a heart attack. You know, the guy loves to train. But what he also loves to do is win, and he also loves to talk to the media after he wins.
Right.
So I see this definitely going to decision.
Really?
I see this going into decision, and I see McGregor. I see McGregor taking it. I see McGregor taking a very, very humble, grateful win that night.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I'm going to defer. I'm going to defer to you on this prediction because I am literally like, flip a coin, and I will give you reasons that either fighter will win on
Yeah,
this coming Saturday. I do not have a solid prediction on this. So if you want to do your trifecta, I've got Wonder Boy, Tuivasa, and Sean O'Malley for your trifecta. Do not ask me about the main event because I have no fucking
yeah.
clue. That is my final answer on that one. I have zero clue.
This is
I could flip a coin. I could flip a coin and give you 100 reasons Poirier is going to take it, and I could flip that same coin and give you another 100 reasons why McGregor will take it. So, but I agree. I do agree with you though that this will probably be especially if he loses. If McGregor loses this fight, his MMA career, it's going to be money matches.
Yeah.
He's never going to go for another belt. Like this will be the end of his official championship run. Like whatever, outside of making money matches because. If he loses this fight, I mean,
I don't.
he's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, I don't see him going to another company either because he just has. He's too
not.
loyal to Dana and stuff like that. So
Absolutely. So if he wins, they're going to give him whatever the fuck he wants.
yeah, and you know what?
Predictions and simulation of these fights on UFC 4 and live stream. Yes, you can. That's actually totally legal. You just, you have to talk over it, Deshaun, and. We could probably do that. I don't know if me and John might be able to do that.
We could probably have audio, but that's about it.
If it's on UFC 4, if it's on
on the game. Oh, you know what?
Simulation.
Oh, that could work.
Do you have UFC 4?
I do. I'm gonna download it today.
Okay, so Deshaun, I think we got you covered, man. We'll do that on.
We'll get to.
You want to do like on Wednesday or Thursday?
We could definitely do that. Hey,
I'm on vacation.
I'm
on vacation. I got all the time in the world.
I apparently I'm a corporate morning shift guy now. So.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, man. We're at the final thought. I think you take it this week. I think.
Yeah. I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Before.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Before we hit that, next week we're going to be talking about swatting, and we have a special game. I was gonna have it ready this week, but there's a lot in this game that I need to figure out. But the game that me and Jay are going to be, actually Jay's going to be playing next week, is called, is it a sex position or a gamer tag?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we didn't get to that today, did we?
So, there's still, there's a whole list of stuff that could only be qualified answers. So make sure you guys come by next week for that. We're also going to be talking about swatting next week. Swatting has become a very difficult issue in the gaming world right now, and that'll be fun to talk about. But yeah, man,
absolutely.
Take the wheel.
All right, so another week has gone by, and hope you guys all had a good one. And at the end of the day, we want everybody to have a good week ahead. And a lot of times we have these holiday weekends. We have a nice long holiday weekend, and maybe you've been in service and you're a veteran, and maybe sometimes on these holiday weekends, maybe it feels a little bit bittersweet. I want to encourage everybody, reach out to some loved ones, family, friends, whoever you're surrounded with. Go to your local watering hole and hang out with the guys and gals there if you need to be around somebody. I also want to encourage everybody to be very safe and responsible when you are imbibing in this particular drug, being alcohol. Nothing good happens after midnight when that drug is involved, and a lot of times you get caught up in the moment, and you're having a great time out and about or with your family and friends, and you don't want the night to end. But then when the night's over and you're sitting there alone in your bedroom at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the thoughts start racing, make sure to keep your phones on. If you are a family member, a loved one, or a fellow veteran, keep your phone on so that when you get a phone call at 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning, it might rustle you out of some sleep right there, and you might be a little irritated, but answer your phones. The people don't call other people for no reason at 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They're reaching out, even if they just want to hear somebody's voice. It's not even necessarily a bad thing. It could just be they just want to hear somebody's voice. You know, they want to hear a friendly voice and be attached to somebody on the other end, and that's okay. Make sure that you use the phone. It's better for me to get a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning than get a phone call at 9 o'clock that morning, finding out that somebody did something they can't take back. Me and John have experienced it. I know a lot of our fellow veterans, especially in this community, have experienced it, getting that phone call and finding out that a fellow brother or sister has crossed over the threshold to the next realm. And it's very hard to talk about it sometimes, but we bring it up every week because we want to encourage you guys to always reach out for help if you need help. I say it all the time on this podcast. I've been seeing a therapist for about the last 2 years. I'm proud to admit that I see a therapist. Okay, I needed somebody. I needed something else in my life. Stuff wasn't going really well. It wasn't going right. I don't want to say I was really suicidal per se, but I was having a lot of issues. I was having a lot of problems in my personal life, and I needed that emotional outlet, that vent. And if you are a veteran, contact your local VA. Go to your local American Legion, VFW. Find people that share your experiences and just talk. You know, just talk. And if you are imbibing, please imbibe responsibly. It is okay to have some beers. We want you guys to have a good time. Enjoy. Have your hot dogs. Have your hamburgers. You know, have Dad grill the steak that he always made. Whatever your family tradition is, blow some fucking shit up. Okay, make some giant colorful explosions and celebrate the birth of our great nation. Okay, but just please do it responsibly. Make sure you retain all 10 of your digits this weekend. And yeah, I guess with that, suicide prevention hotline is 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. If you're having any issues, thank you all very, very much for joining us. Happy 4th of July, the 245th birthday of our great nation. So enjoy your holiday, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much, John. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Jay. Hood.